Hello and welcome to this mid-morning taste challenge. We have two 40% alcohol Canadian blended whiskeys. The first one here, introduced in 1991, is Caliber. What am I saying? I got it backwards. This is, sorry about that mental lapse. This is Crown Royal Reserve, or Special Reserve, introduced by Seagrams in 1991 and owned by Diageo since they bought Crown Royal from Seagrams in the year 2000. All right. Has that leather feeling bag, purple crown, gold bag, purple crown. Extra aged. How long? They don't say, but all they're saying is aged extra. Girl, you is so extra. All right. Pretty bottle. You know, this bottle is like $45. It's $45. You might luck out somewhere and find it for $40, but it's very unlikely. So you're basically looking at $45, which is what I paid for it. There it is. Crown. There's the crown for King Charles III, King of Canada. There's the description about how awesome it is by their master blender. They claim they use only less than the top 1% of the best Crown Royal batches available when they pull the barrel. So better than over 99% of the Crown Royals you can buy, according to them. But I mean, I'm not saying they're lying, but all right. I'm just saying that's what they say. Here's the bottle cap, which if you notice, the bottle cap says Crown Royal Special Reserve. So I'm calling it Crown Royal Reserve Special Reserve. All right. Oh, he's throwing a fit. He don't want to go to daycare or something. Who knows? So there it is. Dark. Very dark. Is it the natural color? I don't know. I know Canadian whiskey sometimes adds caramel coloring. So maybe they do to give it that copper appearance. Now, the competitor, introduced in 2004, the year before Hurricane Katrina. Caliber Premium. Of course, all whiskey is premium at least. Even the lowest price whiskey you ever bought in your life is premium. Caliber Premium Canadian, a smooth and mellow blend from our master distillers. Canadian whiskey with natural flavors. Bottled by IWA Distilling Company Limited, Louisville, Kentucky. Bottled in Kentucky. You've probably already figured out that, you've probably already figured out by its oddity that it's a Sazerac brand, right? Because Sazerac has that like house style strangeness about their products. So it's one of their alias brands. Yeah, I've reviewed Old English like too many times. All right, Lord Christmas. So there we go. It's got the crown for King Charles III, King of Canada, 2 maple leaves for his 2 sons. All right, anyway. And there we go. They've got it at Walmart for $12.98 a handle. $12.98 at Walmart for this handle versus $45 for the regular size bottle of Crown Royal Reserve. Oh, yeah. I've seen Caliber around, not just at Walmart. Star was selling it. Savannah Discount was selling it. You can buy it if you live in Iowa, you could buy it at the Iowa Liquor Control Board because Iowa has one of those government-owned liquor store chain things going on. All right. All right, all right. Enough's enough. Appearance. Well, you could probably tell that the Crown Royal Reserve is darker. It's a deep copper, and the caliber is pale. Lloyd Christmas says, I see it reviewed every day on the sidewalk. They loved it. Yes, Crown Old English is popular. I like it. All right, so there it is. Gold, 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 gold. So gold versus copper. Cheap versus not so cheap. Whiskey with natural flavors versus whiskey with possibly natural flavors. Yeah, they don't really have to disclose that unless you ask for a certificate of flavoring. And that would be if you're a wholesaler. So there's a law in Canada where if you're a wholesaler, like you're a distributor and you buy the Canadian blended whiskey and you sell it like in Fiji or Hawaii or New Caledonia or New Zealand or Australia, you know what I'm saying, out there or anywhere, and you say, oh, I'm requesting a certificate of flavoring. The law of Canada, they have to provide you with that certificate. Now, the articles I read was that the Canadian liquor regulator people were saying, yes, that is the law, and there is a form to fill out, but they were saying that they were not aware that anyone had ever asked for such a certificate, like in the history of the law. Like they just didn't have on record that anyone had ever asked for the certificate. But you can get it. It's kind of like the 1985. I'm sorry. It's kind of like the 1986 Camaro, Chevrolet Camaro 2.5 liter engine. If you look in the brochures, it was available, 2.5 liter Pontiac produced 4-cylinder engine. You say in a Camaro? Yeah, that's right. But Chevrolet had no record of anyone ever actually ordering one. Like they never made any 1986 Camaros with a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine because they weren't going to make it and stick it at a dealership where no one would buy it. And they had no record of anyone requesting it. So they just dropped it for the 87 year model year. But at least in a theoretical sense, you could buy that. It's kind of like the 2023 Nissan Versa. You see them everywhere. 4-door Nissan car. You can get it with a 5-speed, or is it a 6-speed manual transmission, stick shift as people call it. But what was Nissan saying on the newspaper article I read? They didn't have any record of anybody buying them. They said, yes, we know that 2 had been made for 2023 so far. There were 2 models with the 4-cylinder. I mean, they're all 4-cylinder. I mean, the stick shift. But yeah, if you go to any dealership, they're gonna all be for automatics. I checked their website, and they were saying that they had 2 on delivery to New Orleans that had the manual transmission. I don't know if people got when they heard a news report that they were going to discontinue that after this year, manual transmission. They say it was the last car available in the U.S. with a manual. And so some people might have ordered it for collectible. You know what I mean? Just to put in a garage and save, because you could buy them brand new for about $16,000. And these collectors, that's like $15 to them. And they'll just mothball it. You know, the last manual transmission car sold in America or something like that. And that's how some of these whiskey products are, and beer products too. You know they exist, but they might only exist in theory. All right. Kind of like National Bohemian Ice. You say National Natty Bo Ice. Okay. Bet you'll never see that. I would have I would have taken you up on that bet until I ran across it in a liquor store in a very let's call it a urban section of Baltimore. It was urban because it was in the middle of the city. But on US Highway Route 40, US Highway 40 eastbound. I said, I got to go in this liquor store because I had curiosity. I don't think I had a death wish, but I was curious. There it was on the shelf. 6 packs, Natty Boh Ice. And the price was so low. I said, I got to buy it. I'll be the only person to ever review it. And I think I was. All right. Oh. It smells like multigrain. I say, what does that mean? Well, like corn, a lot of corn. Like 90%. Is there wheat whiskey in it? Oh, perhaps. Barley malt, single malt whiskey. Yeah, maybe. What about rye whiskey? Yeah, probably a little bit of rye whiskey. The best available. No, probably the cheapest one they could get a hold of. Okay. Much richer in the aroma. deeper, obviously extra aged, whiskey saturated barrel, oak barrel. I didn't say charred oak. Wheat whiskey, probably. Rye whiskey, certainly. Single malt, barley malt whiskey, malted barley whiskey. Yeah, probably so. Canadian blended. There you go. That's your claim to fame, Canada. Now, the taste test for what it's worth. But I noticed the caliber. All right. Sugar water, corn sugar, corn, like sweet corn. You can go to the grocery store in the produce section and buy the sweet corn on the cob. Yum, 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 yum. It's like that without the butter, and it hadn't been, it has been boiled. But rye whiskey, given a little pepperiness, just a little bit. Wheat, maybe to soften it. I don't know about the barley malt whiskey. I don't think Canadian whiskey is too famous for single malt being blended in. But hey, Irish and Scottish they're all, well, I was about to say they're all Commonwealth countries. Well, Northern Ireland, not the Irish Republic since 1949. All right. Yeah. Vanilla flavoring. Is that the natural flavoring? I mean, it seems like it's vanilla extract, but I don't want to say. Oh yeah, that's Crown Royal Reserve. Ding, 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 ding. Don't even need to look at the label. I can see it's darker. All right, let's get to the point. Okay. Oh wait, comments. Hello, Ron Privet, says Maxwell. Hello to you, Maxwell, in the Russian Federation. Tommy Carroll says, cheers, Louisiana Liquor Reviews. Cheers to you, Tommy and Maxwell. Enjoy the Decline says, do you like Canadian beers at all? Moosehead just released a new logo. I saw that on Facebook. Looks nice. It's hitting store shelves here now, probably in Louisiana too, because we get Moosehead in my town. I like Canadian beers. Labatt, which we no longer get in this town. Molson Canadian, which we no longer get in this town. Moosehead, which we still get. And all those ales that they make, like Molson Export Ale, these Labatt ales, but yet we never got them. Would I buy them? Yeah, I'd buy them. I'd try them. Now, I know you're going to say, I saw your video where you did Molson Golden. That's a half lager, half ale mixture. Yeah, I know. We can't get that in Louisiana. I bought that on road trips to Florida and I guess Texas or whatever. Yeah, we don't get that here. We don't get Molson Triple Export. Well, anyway, that one's the That and the golden is American made, a USA produced in the United States. They just Canadian recipes they make here is cheaper. I guess they don't have to pay some kind of tax to cross the border. Although, we have the free trade agreement. That's not free trade because you still got to pay the tax. So how can it be free? What's going on, man? Says James Lassane. Just doing a whiskey taste challenge. And Jordan Decline said, the weird thing is you guys get some Canadian products that are not available domestically. Yeah, well, I'm sure y'all get Crown Royal Reserve. I mean, that's goes without saying, but or Special Reserve, whatever they call it. It might be two different names where you buy it. You might go to Ontario and it's Reserve Special, and then in Quebec, and then in Ontario it's Reserve. I don't think y'all get Caliber in Canada. Missing much. I mean, it's okay. Rickard's Red is a good Canadian, says Craft Beer Tastic. I've never seen that in my life except for the internet. No, never seen it in Louisiana. And they make all kind of Rickards, right? Yeah. It's got a little rye spice. I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't. It does. Is it a rye whiskey? No, not by any means, although it's probably a higher percentage than normal. There's a lot of vanilla flavoring. I don't know what the flavoring is. Okay, I'm not going to sit there and pretend that I do. Maybe it's brandy. I don't know why brandy would taste like vanilla, but maybe it's brandy. Maybe it's some kind of rum. Same thing. I don't know. To me, it tastes like they're adding vanilla extract. I don't know the law. Does the flavoring have to be added in Canada, or can they add it once it gets to the United States at the bottling plant? This I don't know. Does it really matter? Probably doesn't matter because I don't think, when I tell you what I paid for this bottle, you're going to think I'm making it up. It's $12.98 at Walmart. Is that worth it? Yeah, I read a review on Google. That review is, I don't think it's credible. The guy's talking about it's so bad. It is so incredibly bad. What does he say? Not worth the cheap price. Not even worth the cheap price. Barely drinkable. I believe it's not real. It's not real. It's imitation whiskey flavored alcohol. Caliber gin is just as bad. Okay, if you mix it with milk. If mixing, okay, well, it's not imitation whiskey, but they do sell an imitation rum, Caliber imitation rum. You say imitation rum, well, you're really hitting the low end when you're doing that. Yeah, there's nothing lower than that. And I never tasted anything worse than that. But we're not talking about Caliber so-called rum right now, that atrocity of mankind. We're talking about Caliber Canadian whiskey, which is not much different, if at all, from Albertson's Canadian blended whiskey, no longer produced. Canadian Crest, Canadian Hunter, Canadian Limited, Rich and Rare, Canadian Lake. Oh, I never had Lake. I'm sorry, Canadian Leaf. Yeah, I mean, they pretty much all taste the same. They're all from Sazerac. They're all bottled at Buffalo Trace. Is it the same product in different bottles? You would hate to say something like that. I'm not saying that. I asked the question, is it? Oh, well, let's say every recipe is slightly different. Each one of these has a slightly different recipe in like the 1 or 2% range of whatever they're putting in. Okay, it's different. Like when they say, oh, we change the Christmas ale every year at Anchor. Our, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, our special ale. They change the recipe every year. But they more like they tweak it every year, like barely change it. So, but it's changed, but it's so minimal. Like a Beta Christmas ale, they change it every year. Only problem is it tastes the same every year. It's a good taste. It's a good flavor. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm still trying to figure out. Well, one year it tasted like ham glaze. That was strange, but usually it's about the same. So even if the recipe is slightly different, one label to the other, in the real sense of it, they all taste the same to me. And I don't mind the flavor. I like vanilla flavoring. I like the subtle grain texture here, the grain flavor and texture. It's mild, it's mellow. I don't know what the guy's talking about, how horrible it is. Not horrible. Is it something to go run out and buy? to give to friends and family. I'm not saying that. It's something to drink because it's cheap. Okay, I mean, enough's enough. Let's look at it that way. But it does have a nice flavor. It's sugary. It's pleasant. It's mild. It's easy drinking. It's not offensive. I'm just speaking for myself. It's okay. I actually like it. And I really like the price because when I was at Rouse's, which is a Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama grocery chain, I saw these bottles. It was two of these handles, two. So it wasn't 1,750 milliliters. It was 2 times 1,750 milliliters. And they had it priced 2 for $10. 2 for $10. But you say, but that's $5 a bottle. Exactly. So I was like, do I need this? No. Am I passing it up? No way. I don't need it. I ain't going to pass up a handle of whiskey for $5. That ain't going to happen. So I brought it up to the register and it confused the girl because she had to type it in manually because it wasn't like it would ring up something. I don't know. So I'm watching her and she types it in $5 total. I said, why are you typing it like that? She said, well, it's 2 for $10, so she's charging me $2.50 a bottle. I said, no, it's not $5 divided by 2. It's 2 for $10. It's 5 times 2. She seemed lost, like I was confusing her, like, what? I said, you could just ring up $10. And so she rang it up $10 plus tax. If I had no morals, you know what I'm saying? If I was a gangster, I would have said, oh, yeah, and I would have paid $5 plus tax and gotten 2 whole bottles. I'm not going to do that. Because first of all, I'm getting it for a price that's exorbitantly low as it is. Walmart got it for $12.98. Well, at the time, Walmart had it for $10.96. They're selling it for $5 a bottle, 2 for $10. You had to buy 2. Yeah, I mean, the price is a joke anyway. It's so low. So am I displeased with it? No, I told you. Even if it tasted kind of bad, I wouldn't be displeased with it at that price. But it's actually it literally tastes good. Is it really good? No. Is it marginally good? Yeah, more like that. It's kind of good. But in no way offensive, and I can't argue with that. All right, now the Crown Royal Reserve. Yeah, it's way better. It's like way better. It better be. I paid $45 for a little bottle. I call it a little bottle, 750 milliliters. It's not a big bottle. It's the regular bottle. Still a kind of small though, But that's like a little bit over 2 beer cans. So yeah, I mean it's not big. No, I mean, can you buy this in a liter? Yes. Can you buy this in a handle? Yes, you can. You may never find it. So can you buy it in a sample? Yeah, I believe so. I don't like to buy those samples really because it's a terrible ripoff. You pay an extraordinary amount per ounce. And that accumulates. So I'd rather just buy the cheaper per ounce and just kind of like rest on it and taste them down, which works out for me because I'm not in a rush anyway. So yeah, now the question, is it worth the way higher price? So let's see, 13 times 3, 26, 36, 3, 39. Yeah, it's like a bit. I can buy 3 of these big boys for every one of those regular boys. I mean, if everything with you is about consumption, then buy the 3 calibers. You got it. Easy, it's done. But if flavor and quality plays a role in your drinking experiences, yeah, then maybe at least once in your life you should pay the $45 plus tax and get the Crown Royal Reserve, okay? Yeah. Caliber doesn't stand a chance. But then of course we knew that before we started the video. So is this an obvious mismatch? Yeah, it is an obvious mismatch. But is it a total calamity? It's not a total calamity because the caliber is not totally bad. And in fact, it is not even bad. It's not even, I would say it's, like I said, arguably good, which would put it in the B range. So, okay, it's a win-win proposition in a certain context. All right. Craft Beer Tastic says, I've had instances where I was undercharged, but then again, I've been overcharged too. It seems to even out over time. I had an instance last month where I was undercharged in a gross manner. This was like way more extreme for Founders, KBS. What was that one? It's the chocolate cherry. The lady rang it up $5.99 for the 4-pack. So, it's $5.69 for a single bottle, really, or something like that. She was like, no, it's the manager told me ring up the whole 4-pack for $5.99. I said, I'm telling you, that's definitely not the right price. This product is way more expensive than that. Some people are paying over $20 a 4-pack in some states. I didn't tell her that. I'm just telling you that. She was like, sir, don't worry about it. The manager says it's okay. I said, okay, I'm just telling you, I was fully prepared to pay the $15.99 for 4-pack, but if you're going to insist on selling it to me for a price that's clearly like 75% wrong, I'll do it. You don't have to like twist my arm, but I'm telling you. And then my friend David went over there and they still were screwed up. They sold him his for $9.99. A little closer to the right price, but still way off. Still way off. He was all excited, An old English drinker wouldn't have corrected her. I don't know about that, Lloyd. You're a good man. Well, I try to be, I'm not really looking to rip people off. I don't need to. I mean, you should never do that. I have extra money. You know what I'm saying? I got money in the bank. I don't use all my money every month. So I feel like that's a blessing. So I ain't out here to hustle people. Anyway, yeah, that's it. It's kind of a video that doesn't need to exist, but I do go through each one. Now, if anybody wants to see what's coming up next, let me know, or otherwise I'm going to get that lawnmower started up. So I can show you what's coming up next week. Crown Royal Special Reserve versus ... If not, we'll leave and I'll move on. So let me know going once. Let me know going twice. All right, that's it. Gone. Oh, some of the beer stores around here don't realize what they are really selling. They don't keep up with the craft beer culture, says Craft Beer Tastic. Oh, I definitely know that is the case here, but it's usually reverse here. Like they'll think they have something that's special, but it's not. You know what I mean? Like Dragon Stout from Red Stripe, Desno and Geddes. It's a good stout. I love it. But they'll price it they're pricing it like it's KBS or CBS, Canadian Breakfast Stout, or the Dragon Stout Fire. And you want to tell them, it's like, man, this stuff is not that special. Why are you pricing it like it's a hard to get, like it's a super unbelievable premium product when it's really just like a nice premium product. But you can't tell them because they won't understand. Let's see what's coming up. Okay, I'll show you real quick. It's not going to be exciting, believe me. So it's Black Velvet versus Crown Royal Reserve. This is just a regular old run-of-the-mill Black Velvet since 1951. You say, but that ain't anything special. I know, I bought it for $8.99. Then a month later, they dropped it to $7.99. But I didn't know they were going to do that. I know it's not anything special, but it is the third best-selling Canadian whiskey in America? Yeah, I think it's number 3. I'm not kidding about that. I think it's like Crown Royal is number 1. Let me get this right. It's like Crown Royal is number 1. VO, Seagram's VO is up like number 2. Black Velvet. Well, it's a top one. It's a big one. You know that. All right. So is Black Velvet going to really compete against Crown Royal Reserve? No, because Black Velvet really isn't that good. But it's okay. But it is aged 3 years. At least they have an age statement. But no, it ain't got a shot. It's going to get killed. All right. Black Velvet is a good evening sipper, smooth. Okay, well, I don't find it that smooth, but see, that's why we get on these videos. We talk about it. Some people say, yeah, it is smooth, and other people say, oh, it's not really that smooth. All right, but anyway, yeah. So next week, get ready for Black Velvet getting killed by Crown Royal Reserve / Special Reserve. And then we're going to progress through the other Canadian whiskey brands, which is not that many left. And then we on to Irish whiskey. I can't wait because I got this Irish whiskey that I bought for such a great price. That's unreal. And from what I hear, it's a pretty good Irish whiskey. Yeah. The Busker. All right. Y'all take care now.